In Lakesh and Veritas, with honor, respect, and gratitude, everyone. Welcome to our Divination workshop tonight, where we will be working with the Call for the Truth Divination cards. And Tarvars will be joining us also tonight. So I am Diane of the Sun, owner of In Lakesh Studio One, a franchise of the Sun. We offer quantum light property clearing services, truth and tea, call for the truth divination card readings, and other services and products. You can check out our highly vibrational services and products and at inlakeshstudio1.com. Also, check us out on Instagram at inlakeshstudio1. And every Friday we post a Frequency Friday, a call for the truth divination card reading. And today was a post of the card Consciousness. And this card reads, "What we thought yesterday, we do not have to choose to think tomorrow. We are the responsible party. We are responsible for our own experience." And the book further states, "Responsibility," which is Ho'oponopono. So check us out on Instagram every Friday for our Frequency Friday. And a few other announcements before we get started. High Frequency Living offers live streams, which focus on high frequency living lifestyle topics like meditation and breath work, flowers and frequency, wellness and nutrition, of the Sun classes and modalities like quantum light property clearing, soul translation, light body movement, and many other high frequency topics. All the live streams are recorded, so be sure to check out our previous live streams and podcasts. And join us each week live on our live streams on Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern with Lauren of the Sun for Flowers and Frequencies, Wednesdays at noon Eastern with Midday Meditation with myself, and Thursdays at noon Eastern with LaOta of the Sun and Tarvars of the Sun for their Call for the Truth podcast live stream. And they have been going over the Of the Sun tenets recently. And then on Fridays, we have a rotating schedule. So next Friday will be, which is June 26th, and that will be the Quantum Light Property Clearing Chronicles. And that will be with Tarvars of the Sun, Lauren of the Sun, Tiffany of the Sun, and myself at 7 p.m. Eastern. And we will be bringing forward many stories and experiences regarding the Of the Sun quantum light property clearing service and classes and things. It is so necessary, especially at this time, to clear and keep our spaces clear, our vehicles, our electronics, and helping Mother Earth. So hope you can join us then. And then on Friday, July 3rd, which is the first Friday, we have in Lakesh Studio One's Evolutionary Book Club. And we will be discussing the book, The Never Ending Story by Michael Ende. So hope you can join us then. It's also available as a movie. So hope you can join us for that interesting discussion. So for all quantum light property clears, Tarvars started teaching a new class called Quantum Light Device Clearing. And it focuses on clearing our electronic devices. And it is so helpful. He's brought forward many layers that we need to really address as we're clearing our electronics. And so there still is time to register for the next session, which is on Thursday, June 25th at 6 p.m. Eastern. So links for classes and more info are in the description of this live stream. And if you have any questions, you can reach out at contact@ofthesun.com or myself at info@inlakeshstudio1.com. So that wraps up our announcements. Tarvars, you're sideways.
Does that
Okay.
matter?
Welcome, Tarvars and LaOta Veritas.
And Lakesh Veritas. Thought that orientation was going to change up for me. Apparently not. But we are here, mobile, making sure we call for the truth this Friday evening with you all. So I'm looking forward to joining you and those who are participating in our question this evening. So thank you for having me.
Yes. Our question tonight is, what message of truth is pertinent for us to know at this time regarding our relationship with our bodies? And this is, I think, important because we're all working with our body. Many of us in Of the Sun are working with our bodies, with our sun calibration. We're asking our bodies to give us answers and assisting us. And is this the right food to eat? Is this the right place to go? But even deeper than that, is this something that, shall I be reading this book? Shall I be talking with this person? What about this relationship with someone else? So it's important that we listen to our bodies. So we'll get some more information tonight about that. So before we start, I'd like to invite you to join me to call for the highest possible vibration. Shall we call for the highest possible vibration? Shall we call for the highest possible vibration? Shall we call for the highest possible vibration? And shall we call for the truth? Shall we call to see the truth in all that we see? Shall we call to hear the truth in all that we hear? Shall we have the courage to speak the truth? And shall we invite nothing less than the truth into all of our experiences? All righty, so now we are in the truth. So tonight we will be working with the Call for the Truth Divination cards, which are a companion to LaOta's book, Call for the Truth by LaOta Rassoull. And you can get this on Amazon, or you can get a signed autograph copy at inlakeshstudio1.com. But she created these cards to go with the book, and many of the cards have maxims from the book and other maxims from classes and things that LaOta has presented. So each card, there's a whole deck of 52 cards, and each card has a topic and it has a maxim, it has a color, it's related to a Platonic solid, related to one of our chakras, and has a number. So there's many layers with each of these cards. So we will be going through all the layers of each card. And if you're interested in getting your own deck of cards, it's available at ofthesun.com or inlakeshstudio1.com. And the cards were designed by Tarvars Of The Sun. They're beautiful. And so the kit comes with the deck of cards and an instruction book with some more information, and it comes in a beautiful blue velvet bag. So I encourage you to get your own deck and start working with them. They're so helpful. I use one every day. I do a card reading every day. I use it also in my property clearings, and also for just something that I need. If something comes forward, it's like, oh, it's helpful to get a different perspective. So to start, we will knock 3 times on the cards. We'll synchronize and harmonize with the cards because they have consciousness. And ask the cards to bring forward the truth that we need to hear tonight regarding what message of truth is pertinent for us to know at this time regarding our relationship with our bodies. So as we do this, This is in a group setting, and it's pertinent to all of us in our personal ways. So then we shuffle, and we will be doing a 3-card reading tonight, a past, present, and future. So the first card, and when you pull the cards from the deck, there are many ways, whatever works for you, whatever your guidance directs you to. You can pull from the top, you can pull from in the middle, on the bottom, wherever your guidance shares with you. And my guidance is sharing to pull from the middle somewhere. And this particular card is the one I'm supposed to pull for the past card. And this card is belief. We must align our thoughts. I'm trying to get it focused there. Okay. We must align our thoughts and our spoken word. You must believe what you are saying. Be congruent. And the book further states, be relief from the congestion of indecision. So we have to remember to be congruent with our thoughts, but also making sure we are making good decisions, our decisions. Because being in indecision, that wishy-washy, that does not help. And so this card relating to our bodies, we must make sure that our thoughts and our spoken word are congruent. So what are we saying to our bodies? How are we treating our bodies? Are we treating our bodies with respect? Are we believing that we respect our bodies? And so we're feeding it only the best food, the best songs, music, the best vision that we see. What are we looking at? So this is about this is above the head. This is the gold color and the chakra above the head. And it's related to foundation and intention. And the color gold is about illumination, sun, prestige, wealth, success, affluence. However, the flip side is greed, over ambitious, and arrogance and extravagance. So when we're finding ourselves in any of those flip side frequencies, you can just remember to flip it back, to illuminate, bring our light back, bring that success back, and bring the sun. Sit in the sun, talk with the sun. So this also relates to number 9, which is selflessness and compassion, encompassing a love for all. It desires to apply its energy to universal service. It bestows an impersonal view of life, one that is generous, benevolent, and patient. 9 is ready to give back to the universe some measure of what it has learned through the 8 previous steps of the cycle. So, what have we learned about our bodies through the past cycles of our lives, and that we need to address and stay congruent with and make our good decisions? So, Tarvars, do you have any comments you'd like to share about this card from the past, the belief card?
Yes, I do. I'm notating away on the laptop over here. So I echo much of the same sentiments that you share, especially that last bit about taking what we've learned from the past. Was that the numerology that was speaking to
Yes.
that?
That was what the number 9 was
Yeah.
sharing that, yes.
Oh, cycling. Oh, I love that. I love 9. Whenever I see 9, I think about the concept of spiral. spiral up into a new experience. And 9, it's completion, the end of the cycle, and it goes back into 1. And so what I sense, and I usually look at this from multiple facets, my own experience, and then I like to look at humanity, and sometimes somewhere in there of the sun and how we're pacing. But with humanity in general, I think that many people on the planet do have some awareness. Let's just talk about the US. We don't got to talk about the planet. We can just talk about the Western world. They have some awareness of what has happened to our food system here in the West, and how it's not food. And there's enough that has happened where the truth is out. Not everyone knows, but it's enough where even my family members, parents, grandmother, they're saying things that's kind of like, whoa, I'm surprised that you know this, which that's typically my gauge for the masses. And, there's one aspect of us that are aware of what's happening to, whether it be the foods that we have loved throughout time, and foods that we have been unwilling to let go. People have been like, can't stop eating chicken. It's like, first off, it's not even chicken. Let's start there. No disrespect to the chicken, but they've done something to our food. So uh, this idea of having to find some level of congruency of like, oh, I should be eating this no more, or it's not shouldn't. It's not in my best and highest interest, because you using that language. Shall we? Is it in our best and highest interest in consulting with the body? And so I think this is a very strong card out the gate that's calling to humanity to make your actions congruent with what you're perceiving. When I hear thought, I also think about perception, like how we're processing what we see. And then shifting into my life, I feel as though there are areas that I would like to go with food and my relationship with my body that I have kind of been, what's that game? Double Dutch, kind of been waiting to get into the jump rope, and hesitancy with the next level. And it's primarily, I can say, because I need some levels of congruency for that next level food lifestyle, which is, more with the liquids. And um, not that I will not never eat solid foods, but will I do it in having more of a succinct system, but also having some reverence for the biology. So I can see that. And I'm going to stop there because I feel like I need more information from the cards to get a clearer picture. This is a very strong start in encouraging us all to get congruent with your food.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tarvars. Yes, I be congruent with the food in particular. Yes. And that was coming forward for me as well today. It was like, oh, what, because sometimes I'm changing too how I've been eating, and not quite as drastic as you with just the liquids, but just some of the things I'm trying to be more aware of, asking my body, is it in my best and highest interest to eat this now? Because it's not that I will not ever eat it, because I don't eat like junk food or that kind of thing. But shall I have this avocado right now? Or maybe I should have it later. So those kind of questions are coming forward for me, because I'll be eating something, I'll think it's good, and then I'm like, oh, it wasn't the right time. Because I think as I've changed my eating, I need to be more aware of like how things digest, like not eating fruit after eating something else, because fruit digests quickly. And so those kind of things were coming forward for me with the food. And so this is really important for me to be congruent and be asking consistently. So
Yeah, I'd like to chime in on that a little bit more. I love where you were taking it with the food and the awareness of or the lack of awareness of the bodily systems and how different things are interacting at different times, or food combinations. As you were speaking, I was about the congruency idea and how when we go to eat foods, oftentimes it's an unconscious act. It's something that is an impulse. It's
Mhm.
not necessarily true hunger, it's habit. What I have learned through this food journey is that, especially with the fast, I can see, oh, that's an addiction. We eat in an addictive way where it is an unconscious habit, where it's not control or conscious. Not saying eating's bad, but it's more of the conscious action which you clearly articulated of what you're eating, when you're eating it. How does your body process that? Those things matter, and it's not that everything bad to eat, even, but I've seen in my own journey where I'm extreme sometimes, and I want to mix all the supplements together and all the powders and the this and the that and the spirulina and that, and it's like, when I go to ask my guidance, they're like, "What are you doing, bro?" It's not. Just take this and that. You don't have to take all six of the binders. Just take two. That's it, and only one. So it's the consciousness. So even with me, there's like an unconscious drive to do a thing that, again, it takes me back to congruency. I'm thinking about the the disconnect and the conscious action between the thought and the action, the doing, and what that looks like with food. Like, oh, hunger and then action, and the congruency with like what's best and what's right for us.
Mm. Yes, thank
How's
you.
that land for you? I know it was like a mouthful, but it was a
Mhm.
deeper congruency with food conscious.
Yes, thank you. That was helpful because, yes, it is mindless eating sometimes for many people, just habit that, oh, I usually eat at this time of the day. Okay, but are you hungry? Maybe why are you eating? Or, sometimes I'm like out or something and it's like, oh, I have to bring food with me in case in case I get hungry. It's like, really? Why? You can't miss a meal or miss even, part of something. So I'm working through some of those things, but thank you, Tarvars. And there's a comment here, Steph of the Sun says, this is so important because it's like being in battle with yourself. You're thinking one and doing I think she means thinking one thing and doing the exact opposite of what you thought you intended. Authenticity and congruence is key, and it keeps sickness away too. Yes, absolutely, for sure. It's so important to be congruent. Mm, yes.
Yeah,
Okay, and
I agree.
another oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying I agree. If I
Okay.
was to say anything else, it's like, yeah, you're fighting you fighting the old part of you that like whatever you used to eat that you know isn't good for you. It's a thing, even if it is something that's healthy. Too much of anything is not appropriate.
Yes. Yes. So another comment about the past card. The past card is yes in the past, but it also relates to us as we're moving forward because they still affect us. So the past card can either help us move forward or it will hold us back. So if we are incongruent, it will definitely hold us back. So I just wanted to mention that too. So the present card, let's see, this is the present card. Oh, and the present card is freedom. And this is for the sacral chakra. And this one says, allow yourself the freedom to be patient. If you rush through something, you miss the beauty in the moment that was meant for you. Do not stress. And the book further states, do not lock yourself into impatience prison. This is so pertinent because we need to have patience with ourselves. as we're moving through these different changes, we have to be patient as we're going through. So, this is about the sacral chakra, and this relates to our creativity, our sexuality, and our pleasure. And it is the color orange, which is enthusiasm, optimism, creativity, warmth, invigoration, stimulation. However, the opposite is sluggishness, ignorance, and frustration. So, if we're ever feeling any of those sluggishness, ignorance, and frustration, we can think of the color orange to bring us our enthusiasm, bring back the enthusiasm and the creativity and the stimulation. And this is the number 2. The number 2 is the pair, the duo. It is changeable and adaptable and can be indecisive. There's that indecisive again. It is the go-between, the diplomat, and the peacemaker, because unity can only be accomplished through harmony of the minds, a compromise on each side. Number 2 represents the feminine principle of receptivity, the yin, which seeks a union of 2 distinct entities. It is the gestation period in which things begin to form. Number 2 collects and assimilates. And this is also related to the icosahedron Platonic solid, which is about transformation, creativity, and connecting with water energy. So this is all about flow, letting things flow, bringing in ideas and letting them flow, not letting things get stuck. And for our bodies, that's necessary as well. As we bring our food in, we need to let it flow out and in and out as it comes in and out. But we must be patient with our process as we make changes, and we can make us see the difference in a small change as we're patient with that, because then things don't work out too well if we're not patient. So, do you have some comments of ours?
Yes, that patience part is a big thing, and I can see it multifaceted. And as I said before, having the unfoldment of the cards is helping see the larger picture of what the divine is communicating to us through the call for the truth cards. So I'm thinking about it from larger human collective consciousness, becoming or the increasing awareness that our food is tampered with is not the same, uh, learning to source food from more trusted places, and really omit certain things from our diet, incorporate new things into our diet that would be more beneficial and conducive to life, longevity, etc. And it's a process. I find that when people get hit with information, like for example, when I first started off with food, yeah, it's like, okay, what do I eat? And then I ended up doing raw because it's like, look, I can just eat celery, plain avocado, and it'll be okay. Just a second, there's a ambulance. Respectful to the live stream, and I've seen that with many people who come across learning about food and eating healthy, and it can kind of seem overwhelming, especially with this extra layer of understanding, like GMOs and pesticides, and there's 3D printed meats and other types of meats that are glued together. And people are like, "What do I eat? I don't know." And it's like, okay, it's okay. Just start off small. You start off, be patient. You don't have to do it all overnight. You don't already have to be homesteading by next week. you know, and hanging out with the farmers on the weekends. You know, it's all right. Start, find one farmer's market once a week, once a month, you know, or bi-weekly. Figure out something small to start getting in the rhythm. And that was my process with just eating in general. And I can even see that with the my individual path with this liquid light lifestyle. And there are places I would like to be within time and space. The process. But you gotta be patient, man. You gotta enjoy the ride. Don't be rushing it, man. And I love that part about you. You will miss something. Uh, I was looking at that from the perspective of like the collective, right? Where you know humans are learning more about food and like don't try to rush this because this didn't happen overnight. We need to know things. We need to like, go through the process of all right, maybe I do need to start growing, or go through the process of okay, this is what this looks like when I go out to the farmers market. And the natural unfoldment of moving into that lifestyle, I find that beautiful, rich things can unfold, whether it's establishing new relationships with people, whether it's people you meet at farmers markets or the actual people growing the food. You know, when we're not rushing, just trying to hurry up and get somewhere, we can actually see the beauty of the process that's unfolding. I'll share one last thought. LaOta and I were speaking today about, I mentioned something to her about the sun, and then somehow that conversation spiraled into ancient human history and off-world experiences and how we find ourselves where we are. And somewhere in the conversation, and this is the point that I'm bringing it, or the reason why I bring it up, is understanding that the divine has a plan. You know, and whatever this looks like, things are moving in. They're moving towards life. That's the natural progression. Whether you're going to take the slow path, the snail path, or you're going to take the cheetah path, we're moving. This thing is moving towards life. Trust the process, you know, and don't miss what's happening on the path with things that looks a little funky, like oh no, 3D printed meat, or oh no, like they're spraying such and such, or putting vaccine in the vegetables. By gee golly, I don't know, I'm being silly, but that trusting what is happening through this process of awareness. And then lastly, you said something about creative energy. I love what you said. Use enthusiasm to help spark the creative energy, like changing the disposition about what the process looks like. And again, I'm looking at this like through the collective consciousness. I'm also looking at this with myself. Like, it's all right, bro. You don't got to hurry up and be there where there is. Be enthusiastic about where you are now and how. And when you said that, I could see how enthusiasm really charges up the spark of creativity that might spiral into, oh, let's try growing something this week, or let's go to a farmer, or let's try a new little market. You know, it's something different where that creative energy breaks up the monotony. And so these are again additional thoughts. Any of that lands for you? You got any other thoughts on that?
Yes, thank you, Tarvars. Yes, that's I like what you talked about finding, being patient, doing it one step at a time. We don't have to, because I think you're right. A lot of us get overwhelmed when we hear all this news, like, oh, it's in this, we can't eat this, we can't eat that, we can't eat this, we can eat nothing. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
that's not true. But be aware that they are, doing something. And so find the places, as you said, go to the farmers market, try to find the farmers, find people, grow your own food. But you don't have to have, as you said, you don't have to have the homestead, but you could grow sprouts in your kitchen, on your kitchen counter, and those are very, very helpful. Their life, so they will sustain you. And, if you just start in one area like that, then that is helpful to be enthused, but to be enthused about what you are moving into, not So looking at it from what is right, not what, oh, this is so bad. Look at all those things that are happening. No, but look what's right about it. It gives
Yeah.
all of us the opportunity to grow and be creative. We can be creative. Each one of us can be creative in our own way for our bodies, asking our bodies, what would be a good food for me to start growing right now? Or where should I go? What is the best? Is there a farm that's close to me? Is there a farmer that would be good for me to go to? Or shall I continue to go to this store? Or do they have the best produce there? Or those kind of things. So I like that, what you brought up. Thank you.
Yeah. I like what you were sharing too about the sprouts and the growing. And one last thing about the creativity, I feel as though the creative energy that you're speaking about, uh, when we look at this new understanding that we may want to speed through, like the car in the background, I don't know if you can hear that, but try to rush and just get over this. We found out about the food and we're rushing through. I saw the idea of this is our opportunity to create something different. Use the creative energy to create, because this is what we want to be created in our with the lack of our engagement. And so the creative energy that comes forth that would provide the freedom that we're looking to have with our food. So it's just layered, but I'm seeing that when you were speaking about it.
It is. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, you're
And
welcome.
there's a comment here from Stacy. She has a couple comments. She said, since pairing intermittent fasting, starting with only drinking liquids to break fast, really showed that I don't need to eat more than one solid meal because the acknowledgement of the richness, what is being provided from real foods. It is helping to break the cycle of emotional eating that is prominent in my lineage. And this card helps show how to be creative with what we have. Many of the things we consider kitchen scraps are viable food options. I am growing sweet potatoes, and the leaves have a lot of nutrition. Yes, absolutely. And
Yeah,
it says strawberry leaves and tops are often discarded but can be made into tea. Yes, I've seen that too. And yes, that is part of being creative,
yeah.
is using
Mm-hmm.
all parts of the food because that's what it's meant for. A lot of things are not
Yeah,
grown just so that you can eat part of it and throw the rest away. It's like they all parts have a purpose. And but we've been taught
yeah, I
that
agree.
you could only eat the strawberry, you can't eat the tops, you can't eat the leaves. Throw that away, cut it out, get it out. And it's like, no. There's
It's so
a
odd, isn't it?
It's what?
I said it's so odd, isn't it? That like
Mhm.
how normalized it is to like I'm specifically thinking about you and I. We went to farms together and be taught about eating leaves and the nutritional content of some of the vegetables that were grown. The leaves had even more nutritional content, which I understand strawberries are like that too, which is fascinating.
Mhm.
My This type of exposure was like, whoa, I would always pluck the strawberry leaves off, and many things for that matter, not with having that understanding. So I'm just saying that to say that I completely co-sign what you're saying.
Yes. Yes, I think that the farmer that we talked to was talking about the leaves have so much chlorophyll. So we get the chlorophyll from the leaves, like the sun. So when we're out in the sun, we get that as
Yeah,
well. And we need that too. We're plants, we're growing here on
that's
Earth
right.
as well.
This is my plant in the sun happy dance. Happy
Yes.
plant.
All righty. So
Indeed.
now for the future card. Let's see what's coming forward for the future for us all with our bodies and our food. Okay. So this is interesting. This is illumination. So now we're in this. the crown chakra, up as you call it, the penthouse, Tarvars.
Yeah.
So this is illumination. The search for illumination must begin within oneself. Everything is inside. All of this is an inside job. It is the inner stirrings that manifest. And the book continues with looking outside self is looking to the wrong direction. And so this is related to the crown chakra, which is, we are in the crown chakra for Light Body this month. And the crown chakra is all about awareness, divinity, and oneness. We are one with all that is. We are one with Mother Earth. We are one with each other. And we have to remember we are divine. And this is the color violet. Imagination, spirituality, creativity, psychic awareness, mystical, and unity. And it could be moodiness, decadence, and entitlement. So we need to be sure that we flip those into, we can use our creativity once again to move us out of those lower frequencies and bring us back into, use imagination. And one thought about this, about the violet, Lauren just brought forward on Monday the flowers and frequency. She brought forward the violet flower, which was very, very interesting and very, there's a lot of good information. I didn't realize there was so many varieties and colors. I thought they were always violet color, but
Yeah,
that was
me too.
kind of cool too. So this is the number 7, which seeks answers. It tries to establish an ideology by which to live and attempts to penetrate the mystery behind its existence, which it has never questioned to this point. Number 7 feels the need to spend time alone, away from crowds, in touch with nature, and seeks friendships with an elevated consciousness that is harmonious. And this relates to the dodecahedron, which is about ascension and divinity and oneness. And it's connecting with our spirit energy and the ether earth element. So I think it's rather interesting that it came forward, this card about looking inside. And that's what we're being congruent and having the freedom to be patient as we look inside. So, Tarvars, do you have your comment?
Yeah, I agree. These cards, I was having these thoughts of, look here, y'all. You all in the comments in the chat tuning in. If the information is Landon, say Landon, or just go to Diane's website and buy you a deck of cards so you can start playing with these cards. But it was so succinctly wrapped up. And I love what it was saying about the I made some notes. The search for illumination must begin within oneself. When I saw that or heard you say that, I saw humanity being in the space of, oh, now we have to do for self. Now we have to stop outsourcing. Now we have to go within. Mm-hmm. I'm like, wow. That is the position we find ourselves in. And it's so layered too, because there's the general idea with agriculture, the jankiness of the system now, and regulations, and then there's even like, what's best for you? What's best for you to eat? You know, and here at Of a Sun, we teach sun calibration, speak to your body, Food's not a religion. It's a unique individual snowflake experience that really requires you to create some distance between what we intellectually understand in terms of like the knowledge from nutrition that's generally out there. Because again, we have seen with clients and yourself and me alike where not everything is for everybody. And the way how we've come to that conclusion is by speaking directly to our body's intelligence. And that may look different than what they're saying out there online on the internet. That's recommended for you to eat, even though I think it's still a good reference. But at the end of the day, life is requiring us to really go inside or turn back to self, the divine insight of what's best for you, you know, and especially with the creative flow of energy and the new world we're making, like the inner stories that manifest, we manifest it, whatever this ugly stuff is right now. Some way, somehow, right?
Mhm.
If you're on the line, like, that wasn't me, I didn't do it. Everything is interconnected.
Yes, you
However,
do.
you know, we're not victims here, right? Yeah, we're not
Mhm.
victims here. And it's like, where can we find our power? And the power is within. The power is stop looking out there. Because isn't there like a section that you read that said to look outside is, I don't remember the words. If would you remind me?
Looking outside, self is looking to the wrong direction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to say it's wrong, but that
Yes.
sounds much better. But the wrong direction, you know,
Mhm.
direct your attention inward and watch that change the outer stirrings or the manifestation. So I can see this across the board in my own life, the collective. I can see it in humanity. Oh no. Just double checking on. I think we're still live. Double checking on Diane right now because it looks like connection was lost, but the recording button is still going. I think due to, let's see, can I see any chats here? Studio chat. It's not allowing me to see any chats. I'm on a mobile device just for anyone who's here tuning in still. And yeah, so we'll give Diane a moment to return back. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so it doesn't appear that she has came back on. Looks like she lost her connection, and plus my signal is not as strong out here. So I'm going to end the live stream, and we thank you all for joining in, tuning in with this card pull today regarding food, speaking to the consciousness of your body. Uh, again, finding congruency within your lifestyle, along with finding the freedom to be patient with wherever you find yourself within the process. And then, of course, allowing yourself to move into the space where you're going within. All right, everyone, have a wonderful remainder of your evening and weekend. And you can catch us at Light Body on this upcoming Sunday. We'll be in the Crown Chakra. In Lakesh and Veritas, honor, respect, and gratitude, integrity, discipline, and action.